All right. Just so again, just for the camera, Jason
Roberts.
Jason Roberts.
I play
fiddle and
Electric
mandolin and
mandolin.
vocalist, and in the theatrical version of the Bob Wills.
Asleep at the Wheel meets Bob Wills.
Right.
It's called A Ride with Bob.
A Ride with Bob. You are Bob Wills. You play Bob Wills.
I portray the middle-aged Bob Wills.
Yeah.
There's obviously an older fellow that portrays the ghost of Bob Wills, and then kids that portray the young Bob Wills as 10 years old. You know, so, but I'm in the middle there.
Terrific. So, well, we've got some questions. First of all, again, welcome to Southern Illinois. Welcome to Edwardsville, Illinois, on behalf of the Wildey Theater, on behalf of the city of Edwardsville. And thank you for your performance this evening. A couple of questions about the venue. The ambiance, the quaint size, the intimate, is that something that you guys prefer when you perform? Or I mean, I know that you've played all sorts of venues, outdoor festivals and theaters and coliseums and etc. What did you think of the venue, and how does the venue play into your preparation to perform?
Well, first of all, the renovation of the place is very, very well done. You know, all the facilities are beautiful, from the dressing rooms to the seating to the everything is really, really beautiful. And you know, and that's, for me personally, it does my heart good to see these kinds of places saved from the wrecking ball.
Right.
Because I mean, these places are American history, you know, and
Absolutely.
and this, for years and years, this is where, you know, and how people would get their music, and not only that, but these were shouting stages for musicians to come and blow and, you know, and say what they had to say. So it really, it's really good thing that that this place has been, you know, treated the way it has.
Well,
so,
thank you.
And as far as in terms of the preparation that goes into it, you know, it's personally speaking for me, it's pretty much the same everywhere. You know, the same mindset that I try to attack. You know, the musicality of it. You know, and. So, you know, I always try to be in a creative frame of mind and take the same songs that we played for the 18 years that I've been in the band and just take them a little bit different, you know, places. And that's kind of the beauty of us being you know, a Western jazz band. We get the chance to improvise a lot. So I can, you know, take it other places, whatever my mind feels like at that time. So. But I tell you, as far in terms of sound go, that's what really is different every day for me. Because in a stadium or a coliseum, you know, I mean, it might be blaring loud, and you've got a stack of PA, which is good, and that's a lot of fun. You know, playing in a football stadium or something. Right. It's just way different than a real intimate setting like this, to where you can hear everything, hear all the tones, you know, and maybe back your volume down a little bit, and you know, and go for better tones. So that helps me personally.
Oh, great. You know, this evening, I pointed out that a couple drove all the way from Canada to see you guys perform tonight. And in terms of the reception from the audience, were you guys pleased with the way the audience received you this evening?
Absolutely. You know, they applauded solos, which you don't see a lot. You know, they were definitely an intelligent crowd, but you know, they could, when they heard something they liked, they applauded it. You know,
they did. And many times tonight.
And not only what they liked, but something that was good. Period. You know, that we musicians hear and go, yeah, you know, Eddie played something great on the steel, and they recognize that too. So it's that was good to see. And you know, the standing ovation at the end is never a bad thing.
Exactly. If you had a preference, you prefer the road, or do you prefer recording studio?
You know, I enjoy both. If I had to pick one, I'd probably say road work. Just because, you know, in a setting like this, you do get to improvise and open up and play from the heart. A lot more than if in the studio. You know, there's some of that, obviously, you know, in the creative side, but you're also reined in somewhat because you know, I don't, personally speaking, I don't want to, you know, step on anything, or you know, kind of, I want the creative process to kind of come from a lot of different ways, you know, and in terms of you know, like live playing, I just, when it's my turn, you know, open the door and let it go. You know, so it's different, and I enjoy both, but I'm definitely a live guy, and I think a lot of it came to do with, you know, has to do with growing up and playing in the honky tonks when I was younger, you know. So that's kind of.
And you are from what part of the country?
I grew up near Austin, Texas. A little place called Lampasas, Texas. But you know, and down there, as are, and, you know, in a lot of places in the country and in the world, you know, you guys have renovated this theater. There's still a lot of old honky-tonks still in operation down there where people go, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night in pants. You know, I mean, honky-tonks 150 years old, you know, that are still in operation. So yeah, it's a wonderful thing.
The music that you listen to, if you want to sort of shift gears and say move away from Texas swing or even country western music, if you were to walk to your stereo, your car, and put a CD in, what do you like to listen to? Do you have a particular artist or a group?
You know, I mean, I do have some artists in particular, but most of the artists that I prefer to listen to are dead these days.
Oh,
you know, I mean,
okay.
like I'm definitely a jazz lover. You know, and a Charlie Parker and Miles Davis. You know, and Cannonball Adderley and some of the
great
swinging blues jazz stuff.
Sure.
I also love classical, and being a fiddle player, you know, every great violinist I've ever heard, it's like Perlman's, the Fritz Kreislers, those guys. It just seems like everything they ever play has such a beautiful tone, and their intonation is perfect. So honestly, when if I'm going to practice, I kind of practice with those classical violinists in mind,
really?
just in terms of technique.
Sure.
And, you know, just the emulation of those guys, but, you know, and not necessarily that they swing, they could, I'm sure, if they want to, but, you know, just that I'm always striving to get a good tone and good intonation, you know, so. And honestly, in my truck, I got to where I almost quit listening to CDs these days, and I just leave it on the classical music station.
Well, I think that wraps it up. But Jason,
it
has been a pleasure.
A real
and honor
treat.
to meet you. Thank you so
the
much
honor's
for your
mine.
time.
And hey, thanks for you know, spreading the word about us on your radio, and I'm sure spinning a record once in a while. You know, so we appreciate you.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay,
Thanks so much.
we'll see you.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.